Hi everyone, I'm Jackson, captain of Finding Avalon. This is my little first mate over here, Xanthe. For those who are new to our adventure, we bought our boat Finding Avalon in Croatia in June last year. And we've been sailing now for close to 16 months.
And living on the boat full time.
Yeah, we've covered about 16,000 miles in that time, and you're currently seeing us in Fiji. So we've made our way from Croatia to Fiji in about 16 months.
And is it what we've expected? In many ways, yes, but in most ways, no. So we actually thought we'd make a little video for you guys and reveal to you the parts of boat life that we didn't know existed until we started living on a boat.
There's nothing inside this. It's like half empty.
So point number one, your drinks disappear. And it's not what it sounds. I know sailors love a good drink, but it's actually because of the bilge. So if you leave any tin can drinks in the bilge, it only takes 1 grain of salt, and what it does is it eats away at the aluminium and it makes a tiny little pinprick hole that you'll never see is there, and the can will be completely intact and you'll go to open it and there'll be nothing in there. It's a very strange phenomenon.
Yeah, we definitely noticed it. I think the worst was on the Pacific crossing when I opened up the bilge, because the bilge pump started going off.
Yeah.
And there was like this black slurry of like moldy, stinky water in there, and I was like, oh, it must be oil, must be anything. Couldn't think about it for so long.
I thought the toilet had exploded.
Yeah, I couldn't think like why it was so black, and then what we realised probably a month later when we went to dig out some Coke cans out of the bilge that were all empty. And it had been Coca-Cola that had been sitting in there.
Yeah, well, people do clean their baths with Coke, so at least we've got nice clean bilges now.
Point number 2 is that you don't always get a hot shower. Now, I had assumed that for some reason you'd always have hot water on board. And I guess if you're always in a marina and you're hooked up to shore power, then that's a thing. Otherwise, in our case, you only have hot water when the engine's running, or after the engine has been run. So basically the cooling system for the engine is run through the hot water heater, so all the hot water that comes out of the engine goes through the hot water system and then out the side of the boat. And that's really good because it gives us hot water, and our little hot water heater should stay hot for 2 days. You'll still get relatively warm water on day 2.
Not hot, yeah, lukewarm, tepid.
But since we've upgraded our solar, and now our solar is keeping up with our daily needs, we no longer need to run our engine, which means that we no longer have hot water. And I can't bring myself to run the engine for hot water. So we only run the engine if we're motoring or if we need to charge the batteries. On
a really, really cloudy day when we have to charge the batteries, which isn't often.
Yeah.
It wasn't even today. Like, this cloud wasn't even enough for us to have to charge the batteries, so. Point number 3. All your clothes get ruined. Now, I'm not going to model these for you, but just to give you an idea, this has basically happened to all of our pants. These are Jackson's.
Yep.
And then these are my favourite trousers, which I've tried to sew up twice. Basically, all our pants are ripped up the arse crack. We're not even sure why. This
one was from battery acid.
Oh really?
Yeah.
That's mega.
Yeah, this one was battery acid. And look, it even went through the pocket.
I think this happened actually because I like to sit on the bowsprit, and I often get my bottom caught on the little shackle pin on the furler, so, you know. Oh, well.
I also cannot do any jobs on the boat without getting some kind of dirt, grease or oil on me.
That's what I was going to say. So it's not only that they get mysteriously ripped, just mold everywhere. We get very sweaty when we're sailing, like winching up under high loads in the hot sun.
Do you winch? Do you work?
Mooring lines at marinas and at anchorages are always filthy.
Yeah.
and there's just these mysterious rust marks you get from hanging your laundry out onto the lifelines. It's endless. I packed loads of summer dresses and gorgeous clothes when we were leaving for this trip, and they're all in a nice little cupboard that never gets touched. I really thought they'd be the mainstay of this trip, but no, it's...
You only wear them when you know you're literally going from the room straight onto the dinghy and off the boat. If you're going to be on the boat, you can't wear them. Actually,
on the last crossing, the last long passage we did, we were 8 days at sea, and we'd caught all the fish we were going to catch, and I put on my summer pineapple dress because I knew that we weren't going to catch a fish. But then I spilt tea all down myself, so you just don't win.
Yeah. I think I have a total of 3 good t-shirts. You're seeing one of them right now.
That's your good t-shirt?
Yeah, this is one of the good ones. Yeah. That doesn't have any marks on it, and I put it on for this video. And I'll take it off. As soon as the video is done, I'm taking it off.
There you go.
Before I go downstairs, because I know it'll get dirty.
The things we do for you, we put on our Sunday bests. Yeah, anyway, what time is it?
Oh, it must be like 8 o'clock.
Oh my god, it's way past our bedtime.
Point number 4 is Sailor's Midnight is 8 o'clock. I didn't know how this happened. Normally, back in real life, I didn't get home from work until like 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
But Sailor's Midnight is real, and it is 8 o'clock. You're in bed, asleep, day's done.
And it's even those nights when you're having a good old knees up on someone else's boat, or you're with some mates down at the beach. It's hilarious. At like 9 or 10 o'clock, everyone just starts dropping like flies. And yeah, we're all...
9 or 10, that's generous. Like, that's a big night out.
Oh yeah, well, we've had some really rowdy nights and stayed out till 11.
Yeah. It actually killed me when we arrived in Ibiza and had to go out and the club didn't open until 2 a.m.
Yeah. Luckily we had just done a long passage, so we were kind of used to having higgledy-piggledy watches and being up at 3 a.m. But yeah, normally I can't even explain what it is. I haven't met anyone who's been able to explain it. I'm guessing that it could be something to do with how much time we spend in the sun. We get quite tired and whacked out from sailing for a long time.
Doing nothing.
And inertia is the most exhausting thing ever. Yeah, the tiredest days we have are when we haven't done anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, Sailor's Midnight. Which bed should we sleep in tonight?
That's a good point, actually. Point number 5 is I never thought I'd play musical beds every night. And on Avalon we have 3 berths. There is our front berth up the front of the boat, and then we have 2 stern berths, or 2 aft berths, and then we have a makeshift one in the saloon in our couch. Now, we thought that we would be sleeping all the time in our front berth because it's in the master bedroom. It's a really nice half island bed. It's really spacious. It's got good ventilation, good light. It's got a hatch right above. You can see the stars.
Every night we get to watch the stars.
That's really cool. But it's on top of a stainless steel water tank that doesn't have any baffling in it, so you get like donk, 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 donk. And it is right at the anchor locker, so if you're anchored on rocks or near coral or something, you hear the grinding of the anchor chain on the bottom coming all the way up and reverberating through that. It also pitches the most with the swell, and because it's a little bit higher, you also get more roll, and there's no like side. Well, for me, there's no sides to hold me in. So as soon as there's a little bit of bad weather, it's actually kind of hard to sleep. I find it hard to sleep.
Let's make it clear that's not very often. We're hardly ever in a rolly anchorage or anchored on rocks. So we're usually in our lovely forward cabin. Then we have the lovely option of our cozy aft cabins.
Yeah, they're really nice, except the thing they lack is ventilation.
And they're stinking hot.
And they get really hot, especially if the engine's running, really noisy, really hot. Or if the engine has just been run, you kind of get that like heat dissipating out of the engine. One thing I have done is like installed USB ports in the room so we can run our little fan, and the little fan is really good.
The fans are really cool.
Oh my god.
Sorry. I thought that was really good. Alright, I'm sure some people love it.
So we always have one front cabin and one back cabin ready to go, beds made out at all times, so you can just swap between the two. And then we have our lovely saloon berth, which is what we now use for our passengers. And it's actually a really comfortable spot, especially for me, because I can actually see the sails, I can see the boat, I can see the chart plotter when I'm waking up, and I can actually sleep because I have less anxiety because I can see stuff and hear stuff. And I find it a little bit more comfortable just being in the center of the boat. It's quite
really
good.
Airy.
Really airy, but definitely if people are moving around and stuff, it can be a bit annoying.
Finally, point number 6. Bioluminescence is everywhere. When you're on passage, your wake is just glitter, and when you flush the toilet, there's bioluminescence in there even. And one time we had dolphins playing the bioluminescence and Jackson thought they were torpedoes. Didn't you?
I did.
He actually thought that we were under fire. Can't think who would want to shoot a torpedo at Avalon, but yeah, luckily they turned out to be dolphins. Hope you enjoyed that video today, guys, and I hope you discovered a few new things about boat life. I hope we shocked and surprised you, and I hope we brought you some smiles. Good night.
Hey baby, you alright to be on anchor watch?
Yeah, right then. Jackson, do you shut the hatches? I just felt rain on my face.
Are you sure we're not dragging? I feel like we're in a different place.
We're so shit.